Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Green Lantern Issue 1. This is the 2023 series from DC Comics under their Dawn of DC imprint, written by Jeremy Adams, art and cover by Xermanico. Colorist was Romulo Fajardo Jr., letters by Dave Sharpe. Assistant editor Gillian Grant, associate editor Ivan Cohen, edited by Paul Kaminsky. So Hal Jordan is back on Earth, and he saves a few people's lives right out the gate, and then goes to try and get his job back at Ferris Aircraft, but Carol's not too happy to see him, even though he's trying to rekindle that old flame, and we get the hints that Sinestro may be on Earth, but all isn't what it seems to be. It turns out that there's something going on with the Guardians disappearing, and the United Planets have taken control of the Green Lantern Corps. Out of protest, Hal quit, but somehow still has his ring. Then he has to run into Coast City to find this Steel Fury guy, and we get little flashbacks here and there where he's trying to work at Ferris again as a drone pilot this time. But this Steel Fury guy seems to have some Manhunter armor, and that's kind of the setup for next issue from the look of it. Then there's a backup story with John Stewart, part 1 of The Rise of the Revenant Queen, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Montos, colors by Adriana Lucas, letters by Dave Sharpe, assistant editor was Gillian Grant, associate editor Ivan Cohen, edited by Paul Kaminsky. And John Stewart's gone home to see his mom, and he plans on staying there for a while, but things in another universe seem to be going all to pieces, and there's mention of the Radiant Dead, and a Guy Gardner from that universe is talking to a young kid named Shepard, and they have this thing called the Watchfire, which is sort of like the Green Lantern Giant Lantern battery, but it's not quite the same, so it looks like there's going to be some alternate universe action. That story could have been a one-shot or a mini-series, not a backup story. It was good. I didn't have a problem with either story, really. I thought the main story was actually pretty solid. The art's good in both stories. Overall, I was pretty happy with it. The downside is if you're a new reader, there's absolutely no origin story here. It's an issue 1 that assumes you've been reading the books, so why make it an issue 1? There's no recap of his origin, how he got the ring, what the ring's powers are. It just assumes you already know that. And that's the absolute worst thing an issue 1 could do, is leave out a recap of his origin. And it does that for both characters. We don't even know that John Stewart's actually a Green Lantern, or if he's the Emerald Knight still. It doesn't tell you that. So if you haven't been reading all of the Emerald Knight and Dark Crisis and Green Lantern stuff for the past couple years, you have no idea what's going on here. So it's not a great jumping on point. It's just a soft reboot. So this was a solid read unless you're a new reader. This is not going to bring new people in because it assumes you already know who Hal Jordan is and how he got his ring. And since the last series focused primarily on John Stewart and some of the other ancillary characters, it's been over a year since anybody saw Hal Jordan really be the main character. So what do we know about him? Who is he? How did he get this ring? It doesn't tell you that at all. I was really disappointed with that, but the cover's good, the interior art's good, the stories are fine. It's just not going to bring anyone new into the title. They need to correct that because a lot of their number ones have had this problem. Unfortunately, they don't seem too interested in bringing in new readers, but trying to get back some of the ones that have left because of the awful storytelling that's been going on in so many books. So I will give them credit for a vast improvement in storytelling, but I won't give them credit for trying to bring in new readers. That's a major flaw in the comic industry today, is that they make all these assumptions about their reader base when they could be bringing a lot of new people in. And at $5, I didn't feel cheated for my money, but I've been a fan for years. I'm not somebody that is just picking this up for the first time. This is accessible by teens easily, but you're not going to get them to come to the book if they don't know who these characters are. So you gotta try harder, DC. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.